The two rules that separate the wealthy from the broke. Let me tell you about two people I know. Sarah and Marcus. Both started their careers at 25. Both made roughly the same salary. Both had similar backgrounds. 10 years later, Sarah was living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in credit card debt, constantly stressed about money. Marcus. He had built a six-figure investment portfolio, owned rental property, and had the freedom to take a 6-month sabbatical to travel. What was the difference? Not luck. Not inheritance. Not some get-rich-quick scheme. It was two simple rules. Rules that sound almost too simple to matter. Rules that the wealthy understand instinctively, but nobody teaches in school. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke their entire lives. And I promise you it's not what you think. Here's what most people believe. If I just earned more money, all my problems would go away. If I got that promotion, if I got that raise, if I started that business, then everything would be fine. But here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to hear. Most people don't go broke because they earn too little. They go broke because they spend wrong. I know someone who makes $200,000 a year and has $50,000 in credit card debt. I know someone else who makes $45,000 a year and has $80,000 saved. The difference? Not the income. The system. See, there's a silent rule the wealthy follow. A mathematical formula that governs how they think about every dollar that comes in and every dollar that goes out. And once you understand this formula, you can't unsee it. You'll start noticing it everywhere. In how the wealthy live. In how they make decisions. In how they build empires while others barely survive. Here's the first rule. Your expenses must never cross 37% of your income. Not 50%. Not 70%. 37%. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's impossible. My rent alone is 40% of my income. Hang on. Let me explain exactly what this means and why it matters. When I say expenses, I'm talking about your fixed lifestyle costs. Rent or mortgage payment. Utilities like electricity, water, internet. Groceries and basic food. Transportation, car payment, insurance, gas or public transit. Minimum insurance premiums. Basic phone bill. Essential subscriptions. Notice what's not on this list. Eating out at restaurants. Entertainment and streaming services. Shopping for clothes. Vacations. Expensive hobbies. Impulse purchases. Those things come from what's left over. If there's nothing left over, you don't buy them. Period. Let me show you what happens when you keep expenses at 37%. Let's say you make $5,000 a month after taxes. 37% of that is $1,850 for your core living expenses. That leaves you with $3,150. Now here's where it gets interesting. From that remaining $3,150, 20% goes to savings and emergency fund, that's $1,000. 25% goes to investments, $1,250. 10% goes to debt repayment if you have it, $500. 8% goes to discretionary spending, the fun stuff, for $100. You're left with about $1,000 for variable expenses like eating out, entertainment, and flexibility. Look at what just happened. You're saving $1,000. Investing $1,250. That's $2,250 a month building your future. That's $27,000 a year. In 10 years, even without any returns, that's $270,000. But with compound growth at an average 8% return, that becomes over $400,000. From just following this one rule. Now let's look at what most people do. They spend 60%, 70%, even 80% of their income on lifestyle. Using the same $5,000 income, 70% on expenses equals $3,500. That leaves $1,500 for everything else. Maybe they save $200 a month if they're disciplined. Maybe they invest $100. That's $300 a month building their future. That's $3,600 a year. In 10 years? $36,000. With compound growth? Maybe $55,000. See the difference? $400,000 versus $55,000. Same income. Different system. The 37% rule does something powerful. It forces your money to work for you instead of you working for money. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When you keep expenses at 37%, you're not just managing money. You're rewiring your brain. You're training yourself to ask, do I need this or do I want this? You're building the muscle of delayed gratification. You're creating space between impulse and action. And that space, That's where wealth is built. Because the moment your lifestyle eats more than 37%, your money stops working for you and you start working for money. Every extra shift, every weekend gone, every vacation you can't take, you become a slave to your expenses. Now here comes the second rule, the dangerous one. Your income must grow at least 16% every year. Not your savings, not your motivation, your income. I can already hear the objections. That's unrealistic. My job gives 3% raises. How am I supposed to do that? Let me explain why this number matters and then I'll show you exactly how to hit it. Here's what's happening in the background of your financial life. Inflation is eating your money. Real inflation, not the official numbers, but what you actually experience, runs between 4% and 7% annually on the things you buy most. Your expenses naturally creep up. Even if you're disciplined, costs increase. Rent goes up. Insurance premiums rise. Your car needs repairs. Life happens. Your expectations expand. As you age, you want a better place. A more reliable car. To start a family. To travel. To live with dignity. If your income stays flat, all three of these forces squeeze you tighter every single year. You're not standing still. You're falling behind. 16% growth means you're not just keeping pace. You're pulling ahead. You're creating breathing room. You're building margin. You're making your life easier each year instead of harder. Let's use real numbers. Year 1, you make $50,000. Year 2, with 16% growth, $58,000. Year 3, $67,280. Year 4, $78,045. Year 5, $90,532. In 5 years, you've nearly doubled your income. Now compare that to the typical 3% annual raise. Year 1, $50,000. Year 2, $51,500. Year 3, $53,045. Year 4, $54,636. Year 5, $56,275. In 5 years, you've gained $6,275. With 16% growth, you gained $40,532. That's not a small difference. That's a completely different life. But how, you're asking? Here's the truth. 16% growth doesn't come from one source. It comes from multiple moves. Strategy 1, career acceleration. Job hopping strategically every 2 to 3 years, average increase 10 to 20%. Aggressive skill development in high-value areas. Negotiating raises based on market value, not company policy. Moving into higher-paying industries or roles. Strategy 2, side income streams. Freelancing in your area of expertise. Consulting on weekends. Building a small online business. Creating digital products or courses. Monetizing a skill or hobby. You don't need to make $50,000 from a side hustle. Even $5,000 to $10,000 extra on a $50,000 salary gets you halfway there. Strategy 3, investment income. Dividend-paying stocks. Rental property cash flow. Interest from high-yield savings or bonds. Passive income from digital assets. As your portfolio grows, this becomes a significant contributor. Strategy 4, strategic career moves. Moving to higher cost of living cities with disproportionately higher salaries. Transitioning to commission-based or performance-based roles. Starting a business in a scalable industry. Acquiring in-demand certifications or credentials. Most people won't hit 16% every single year. But here's what's achievable. Year 1, 5% raise plus $3,000 side income equals 11% growth. Year 2, job change equals 18% growth. Year 3, 4% raise plus $5,000 side income equals 14% growth. Year 4, 3% raise plus $8,000 side income plus $2,000 investment income equals 16% growth. Year 5, promotion equals 20% growth. Average over 5 years? 15.8%. It's not easy, but it's absolutely doable. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when your income stays flat. Year 1, you're comfortable. You're managing. Year 3, things are tighter. Prices went up. You're cutting back. Year 5, you're stressed. You can't afford things you used to afford. Year 7, you're falling behind on savings. Retirement feels impossible. Year 10, you're trapped. You can't change jobs because you need the security. You can't take risks. You're just surviving. That's the slow death of a flat income in an inflationary world. So here's how these two rules work together. Rule 1, 37% expenses, protects your present. It ensures that no matter what you earn, you're building margin. You're creating space. You're not drowning. Rule 2: 16% growth secures your future. It ensures that your life gets easier over time, not harder. That you're not just surviving but thriving. Watch what happens when you combine both rules over 10 years. Starting income $50,000. Year 1, income $50,000, expenses at 37%, that's $18,500, invested $15,750, portfolio $15,750. Year 5, income $90,532, expenses $33,497, invested $28,500, portfolio $142,000. Year 10, income $186,300, expenses $68,931, invested $58,700, portfolio $486,000. Look at that. In 10 years, you went from $50,000 to $186,300 in income. You have nearly $500,000 invested. And your lifestyle? It's improved because you're spending $68,931 instead of $18,500. But you maintain the discipline. You kept expenses at 37%. You kept growing income by 16%. And now, you have options. Freedom. Choices. You can take a year off if you want. You can start that business without fear. You can retire early if you choose. You can help your family. You can live without the constant stress of money. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about what those numbers represent. Freedom to say no to work that drains you. Freedom to say yes to opportunities that excite you. Freedom to be present with your family instead of constantly worried. Freedom to sleep at night knowing you're okay. Freedom to handle emergencies without panic. Freedom to live your life on your terms. That's what these two rules create. So let me ask you, where are you right now? Are your expenses above 37%? Has your income grown 16% in the last year? If the answer is no, and for most people it is, you have a choice to make. You can ignore this. You can tell yourself it doesn't apply to you. You can make excuses about why it's impossible. Or you can start today. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Calculate your expenses as a percentage of income. Make a plan to reduce them to 37%. List 3 ways you could increase your income by 16% this year. Pick one and take action. Because here's the truth nobody likes to hear. If your expenses rise faster than your income, freedom dies slowly. But if your income grows faster than your expenses, time, choices, and peace follow. 37% controls your present. 16% secures your future. Ignore these rules and you'll stay busy forever. Follow them and one day money will work while you sleep. The choice is yours. What will you decide?